Start recording. Speech off.
Hey. What's up, guys? So, Blackout did not go according to plan. Um, I tried to do a song every day, and I wasn't happy with the results. I wanted to spend more time on each song, so I did. Um, and then I met someone, and I was distracted, so I didn't really do that many covers like I wanted to. Um, but, you know, it's hard for me because I'm not used to being in a relationship where someone treats me good. Um, I'm more expecting, like, being treated like shit pretty much. I mean, not to say that all my boyfriends did that, but, you know, I haven't had one that wanted to take me out, wanted to show me off type of thing. So for our first date, we went out and we played bingo, which was a cool experience. Where was it? South Point. They have machines where it pretty much does the work for you and it lets you know if you win. Of course, I didn't win nothing because I have rotten luck. I'm not a gambler. I've never been, never will be. But then we went bowling and, you know, he took me to dinner at a nice restaurant, which was whoa for me. And I met his family, and his family's like really awesome. I enjoy, spending time with them and everything like that. But me personally, I'm so used to being alone. Not to say that alone is bad because I don't know. I'm one of those people that, enjoy my space, enjoy, me time. I want to do what I want to do, play on my computer, sing some songs, chill, jam out to music, just have that solitude time. And I never really had that, of course, because, well, I won't say I never had that, but what I mean is I've never been to the point where I just take care of me. I'm always taking care of my family, or taking care of my house. And, you know, that's my main focus. I mean, I've been a mom since I was 17 years old. Excuse me. So I never really had that 20s, I mean, I did some fun shit in my 20s or whatever, but I always had a responsibility. I always had someone I had to take care of. And now that there's someone in my life that wants to be around me, wants to take care of me, wants to make sure I'm happy and all this craziness, it kind of scares me. And there was a couple times that, I wanted to backpedal because I'm like, wait, I'm not used to this. You know, it was always 50-50 for me. Like, when I dated a guy, I always wanted it 50-50, but most of the time I was the one paying out a majority of the money. So if we went to eat, it was on my bill. If we, you know, for Christmas, I'd always get them something. They wouldn't get me nothing. For my birthday, I never got anything from any of my boyfriends, except for Mike. Mike did give me something for my birthday. So it's like this guy actually wants to be around me, which is fine. I enjoy his company. We have a good time. We laugh. I can be myself around him, but I can't do it 24/7. Like, I can't be around the same person 24/7, or I start to get irritated a lot. I like to, I'll go outside and have a cigarette and just kind of, that's my escape from people. That's why it's hard for me to break this habit, because that's my excuse to get a peace of mind, to you know, just have me time. And he's a smoker, so he comes out every time, and I don't mind it, but at the same time I do. I don't know how to explain it. It's like, you know, um, I just need that. Like in the morning, I need my coffee, my first cigarette, and then I'm good. And it's really hard when you've been single as long as I have, because fuck, I haven't had a real boyfriend since my nigga. And you know, um, I'm I'm a different breed, I guess you would say. I would rather have my own place. You have your own place. We can spend the night with each other, but I don't want to like. I'm not to the point where I want to live with someone, and I don't know if I'll ever get there because of my first experience with that didn't go very well. Um, I just want to, I want to have my own space. I like my shit the way I like my shit. I like my house clean the way I like my house clean. Also, I hate to use the blind card, but sometimes when you live with people, they move shit. And it gets very frustrating because then you have to go ask them. They have an attitude because why didn't you just look for it after you spent like 30 minutes trying to find the shit? Well, at least I do. I always look first. And if I can't find it, I, ask for help. But, I want it to where I can set my house up to where I know where every single thing is, because, that way I don't have to fucking ask. I just want to be able to do it myself. And, you know, like something that takes a sighted person like 2 minutes takes us a lot longer to find when someone moves it. Because if you're sighted, which I've been on both ends of the spectrum, you could just look over and be like, oh, there it is. But with us, we have to like physically search. We have to like go feel around, stuff like that. So I think that's one of my hangups is I don't want to live with someone who's going to move my shit, because I'll fucking kill him. But I say that lightly so I don't get in trouble. It's a joke. Take it as a joke. But, other than that, like, he's really fucking awesome. He treats me good. He's fucking 35. Hallelujah. Um, yeah, so I tried. Let me just say this. I did try. Because everybody says, oh, age ain't nothing but a number. Okay, I agree. But there is a certain mentality that a 25-year-old has. And then there's a certain mentality that a 35-year-old has. It's a little different. With younger people, they're not focused on, oh, let's get married, let's, settle down. And that's what I want eventually. I want to settle down. I want to possibly get married. It's 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 a maybe. You know what I mean? But I'm that type, like, I can't handle rushing. when someone says they love me, it freaks me the fuck out because I'm just gonna put it out here. Fuck it. Like, I'm just gonna go for it. There's only one man in my entire life that I gave my entirely all to, everything to, my heart, my mind, everything. I gave him everything, and he shit on me. And he played me back and forth, like, oh, yeah, I want you back. I come back to him. A couple days later, he breaks up with me, gets with a different bitch. I played that game for damn near, I want to say 6 or 7 years, almost 8, and it wasn't until my daughter was old enough that, when she was 11, that I realized he really wasn't coming home. He had got married, he had a new family, and he kind of left us in the dust. And it's like, I always wanted him to be a part of Road Flair's life. Always. And I would try. I'd call him, hey, you want to come get her? Hey, you want to come hang out? You want to, I tried to involve him. When we had birthday parties, I'd invite him. He wouldn't fucking show. It would break her fucking heart. When he would take her, she always came home crying. It was really hard on my kid. Because she wanted her dad. She wanted us to be together. But, of course, she was little. She didn't understand that that wasn't going to happen because he had moved on. And, it's like he blames me because he didn't see her. But that's not it. And I'm tired of getting blamed for that. I'm tired of getting blamed because you lacked, because you decided it was inconvenient. Do you know how many fucking years it was that I would try to get him to come see her or pick her up or hang out with her, and it would be, I won't be able to. That was always the answer. Unless he was getting some from me. Then all of a sudden, oh yeah, I'll be there in 5, And it was like, I'll never forget it. It was her homecoming dance. God, my baby's in high school. It was her homecoming dance, and I called him up and I was like, hey, listen, I don't have the money to get her a homecoming dress and something nice to wear so she could go. And so he actually stepped up, and I was like, oh, that's fucking awesome. Well, after he buys her the stuff, he calls me the very next day and was like, oh, did I do good? And I'm like, yeah. And then it was like, oh, well, can I come over? No, I'm not going to fucking, what do you want, a fucking cookie? For doing your fucking job, for doing your part? I've been struggling her whole life. All pulling weight, being mom and dad. And, the whole court situation kind of pissed me off as well. But I won't go into depth because, it's kind of like neither here nor there anymore. But, he held me back from a lot of things that I wanted to do for myself so I could better my life for my child and get a decent job and have the skills and, have more opportunities to do stuff. And it was like, for him, no, you need me. You can't go do this, And the whole thing was he wanted out of child support. And that kind of fucked me up, like, we planned her. She was not an accident. No way, shape, or form. Yeah, we were dumb and young, but I wouldn't take that shit back for nothing. I love my baby. I love her so much, and I'm very proud of her. And yeah, sometimes she kind of irritates me. Sometimes she tests the limits. Sometimes she does something that is really off the effing wall. But that's not going to change the fact that I love my baby. And she's a good kid. I mean, she's, some places she's a little misguided, but at the same time, I'm doing the best that I can on my own, and I want to make her independent. I don't want her to grow up and depend on a man to take care of her. I was never raised that way. My father he never really took care of us. It was all about him. When he got money, it was all about him. It was all about what he wanted. And, I've tried my hardest over the years to make sure that I always put her first. And I'm not going to lie to you. The first time that I bought myself clothes in over 10 years was a week ago. A week ago. I bought me 3 pairs of pants and 3 t-shirts. And that was something that was hard for me to do because I was like, oh, well, I could probably save this money and get my daughter something. But, I got her clothes, I got her shoes, I got her, the stuff she needed. And, she was all taken care of. I put money up for her Sweet 16. And it's like, I still felt bad because I bought my fucking computer, and for me, I'm always putting everyone before me. Always. I'm always doing something for someone else. And when I finally did something for myself, it felt good. It felt really good. I was actually happy. I went out and got a new runaway bag. I haven't had a runaway bag in almost a couple years now since my backpack got destroyed, but we won't talk about that. Fucking snow. But, I struggled a lot in my life, and I've dealt with a lot of betrayal. I dealt with a lot of people who said they were there for me, and turns out they really weren't. So it's like, now that there's someone in my life that, looks out for me and, does nice things for me and doesn't want anything in return except for my time, it's great, but it's a little unnerving because I'm really not used to that. And I've always pushed, hey, let's 50-50, you get it this time, I'll get it next time, or stuff like that. But he barely lets me buy my own stuff sometimes. So it's really different. And I'm trying not to overthink because I do that. I'm like, oh, what is his intentions? And, and yeah, he's not perfect. He's got some flaws. I've talked to him about certain things that bothered me, and he's trying to fix them. So I'm giving him the opportunity. I'm not just going to toss him on the side of the road because, he does a few things that irritate my soul. Because that's going to be with any relationship you're in. And I tend to, I have a short fuse. And I'm very stubborn. I'm very hard-headed. So when it comes to someone telling me what to do, I laugh at them because I'm not fucking listening to you. I'm going to do what the fuck I want to do. It's like, I don't mind telling you, where I'm going or whatever, but I'm not going to give you a play-by-play. Please don't ask me about my friends. We're not on that level yet, and, he really wants to, be a part of everything, and I'm really not ready for that. He met my family. That's good enough for me. I'm not going to go post it all over Facebook, or I'm not going to go around and, tell everybody I meet, oh, yeah, I got a boyfriend. It's like, I'm just not that way. Um, I'm really not. So, anyway, that's that little tidbit there. Nothing bad. It's just, it's something I'm not used to, and I'm trying to be open-minded. I am putting in the effort. Um, even though sometimes I didn't want to, and he pulls me out of my comfort zone, it's a good thing. But at the same time, I don't always like it. And he's the type that he wants to be around all the time, and that's fine. But, you have to give me my space, because if not, you're going to work my nerves. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't mind going over there and spending a couple days and stuff, but I need to come home and take care of my shit. I have obligations. I have animals. I got to clean my house. I got to maintain stuff. Which, by the way, I got my computer, guys. Um, but it's a little on the slow side of uh, getting together because of um, the setup process, and you know my mom's been very busy, and honestly, I only trust my mom in that sense because I've been through a lot. My dad used to put spyware on my shit, so he could watch everything I did, and I'm not willing to let someone else do that. But yeah, so that's just kind of where I'm at on that. But I just wanted to kind of pop in here. It's been a minute. Um, so I've done a total of, I believe, 16 songs. I could be off a little on that. But, I got a couple more to go, and so I have 17 more that I need to do. And the other day, I knocked out 7 songs because I was really feeling it. So it's like, I'm going with it. I'm going when I feel, so that way they come out better. And I changed a lot of the songs because, I just kind of was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's great. It's meaningful, but at the same time, I'd rather do this song. I want to have fun, so I kind of switched it up a little. I did my first request, and go head over to my Facebook page and check that out. It's You're Still the One by Shania Twain. That was the first request I put out. I still have at least 3 more requests that I need to knock out. So I will get to those shortly. And I will be tagging those who requested in that particular song. So that was cool. But yeah, I mean, I'm just having a good time, and I took a couple days off so I could breathe. And plus he started working, so good for him. And I just wish he wouldn't stress so much. I mean, he really does. Like, he thinks that I'm gonna disappear because he's working, and that's not the case. Like, I want him to be happy. And if this job is going to make him happy, I'm going to support him 100%. And he's like, he kind of is like, oh, well, I wanted to text you, but it was really busy. I'm like, I don't trip off of stuff like that. It's just not me because, sometimes I'm not going to answer. I'm going to be on my computer. Once I get everything, on there and rocking, I'm going to be busy. I'm going to be going back to making ringtones. I'm going to be going back to, doing something productive, making audio and just having fun. I miss it. It was really good for me. And, I'm still writing my book. I haven't been in a position to start writing, or in the motivational space to start writing. So I'm giving myself time. I really am waiting for my computer, though, to be honest, because it's easier for me to type. On the phone, it's so fucking frustrating. Oh my god, it's so frustrating because it's like I'm good at formatting stuff, like as far as the layout of a page, but only on a computer, because on Notepad it's like, oh my god, I want to choke myself. So it's like, I'm waiting for that. It's getting there. I'm hoping by at least tomorrow to have my computer totally up and just ready to rock and get all my shit downloaded. And yeah, so if anybody knows a good, like, because Microsoft Edge does not work with JAWS. If anybody knows any good, like, browsers, because Internet Explorer is kind of the thing of the past at this point. And if anybody knows anything that's compatible with JAWS as far as browsing, feel free to leave me a comment so I can check that out. That would be great. But I hope you guys had a good time, and I challenge you to do the 30-day. It was actually a really cool experience because I didn't really touch my phone very much. I was barely on it. I was always out. I was always doing something, and, it was cool. And it's funny, too, because, like, after, like, a week of not going on Facebook, they started sending me notifications. You have 19 new notifications, an invite, and what do you call it? And events and stuff like that. So it was constantly like, hey, come check. And I'm like, I actually enjoyed not being on there. I popped on. I didn't even come back until maybe the second or the third. It was the third that I actually opened it and looked at it. And there was a few times that I did, pop in, just to see, if when I had posted a song, someone commented. So I did pop in here and there, but I didn't look at the timeline. I didn't look at the news feed. I didn't look at none of that. So it was different, and it was actually really less stressful because I didn't see all this, COVID, Black Lives Matter, and da 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 da, and that's one more subject I want to touch on before I get out of here. I know this is a long video, but got to give y'all something, and also some updates coming, so I'll give you that too. A friend of mine, he wrote a post, and he was saying basically, like, right now everybody is on this whole Black Lives Matter thing. Okay, let me just say I agree and disagree, because not that they don't matter. That's not what I'm trying to say. So let me rephrase that. It's just like the main focus is black people, but there's all this hate going on right now, especially during with the COVID and stuff. Everybody's blaming China, which, hey, I'm just saying. But, that doesn't mean that you treat Asian people who are in our country that had nothing to do with it like shit. And that's all he was pretty much saying. Everyone's equal, everybody matters, and that's how it should be. And everybody's harping so hard on this whole, black people are being mistreated. Okay, listen. I'm half black. So, for me, I don't know. This is gonna probably backfire on me, of course. But it's like, all my life, I've been treated differently because I wasn't fully black. And I wasn't fully white. So it was like I couldn't hang out with the white kids because I wasn't white enough. I couldn't hang out with the black kids because I wasn't black enough. And I was called mutt, I was called half-breed, just all kinds of stupid shit, okay, my whole life. And I've had friends, you know, that are black and stuff, and it's like, they're like, oh, well, yeah, you're this, you're that, you know, you got light skin, so you get away with this. No, I don't get away with nothing, guys. Just because my skin is fair doesn't mean that basically I get special treatment, because I don't. You know, I was treated like crap by the, you know, black people. But when shit go down, all of a sudden they see me and they view me as a black person. Like, oh, you should be pissed because so-and-so and this and that. Why should I be mad when you guys never accepted me? I mean, if I'm being 100%, my family, my dad's side of the family, never considered me as their niece or whatever, because I wasn't black. You know, I wasn't dark. My skin wasn't black. It was like a brown, you know, and they didn't want nothing to do with me. But when something happens to a black person, dude, you need to come out and, you know, come to these rallies and rah, 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 rah. You need to support your people. My people don't even like me. You know what I mean? They don't like me. I'm not dark enough and I'm not light enough. So it's like I'm not on anybody's side on that. Because honestly, Martin Luther King stood up for everybody. Okay? There's no more slavery. But what bothers me the most is, you know, black people always think that they were the only ones that were slaves. Okay, first off, I'm a history guru, right? There were white slaves. There were Mexican slaves. There were, what do you call it? There was African American slaves. There was also Native American slaves. I mean, fucking, you know, yeah, back in the day, the white man, you know, they did a lot of fucking shit. But listen, dude, we're in 2021. The only way this stuff is going to change is if we all come together and realize, all right, dude, listen, we all have the same, we all have blood. We all have a heart. We all have a mind. We all have a body. We all have the same things. Come together, you know. Come together as a whole instead of separating and segregating races. Stop thinking that, okay, I'm sorry, if you're rolling down the street smoking a fucking blunt and you fucking get pulled over, it don't matter what skin tone you are. Same thing as DUIs. I know a lot of white guys that get pulled over for DUIs. I know a lot of fucking Mexicans DUIs. I know a lot of Asians DUIs. Everybody has a fucking hang-up, okay? It's not just the black people. And you guys need to kind of calm down with that shit. You know, and like I said, no disrespect. You know, it's just retarded. But anyway, so moving forward, before I end this video and stop boring the shit out of you, there will be new things coming to my channel. At least once a week, a friend of mine and I are going to start doing a weekly podcast about crime. And it's not always going to be like, oh, murder this, murder that. We're going to look for funny shit. I want to entertain you. I want you to laugh. there might be one that catches my eye that kind of bothers me, and we'll talk about it. But also, I want to incorporate a few things. And I am looking for ideas and suggestions if anybody wants to put some input. But I want to do an advice. So here's how this is going to work. I'm going to start putting the email address that you can reach me at in the description box. And please, I'm going to say this very clearly. Do not spam me. Okay? This is for advice only. So let me give you an example. Let's say you're having trouble in your relationship, or you're having trouble with a family member, or you're having trouble in life in general. I would like you to reach out and kind of tell me your situation. It can remain anonymous if you like, but I'll give you advice on what I know. If I don't have good advice, I'll seek it for you, and I'll have a guest come on that can relate, and we'll go over it. And so I'm going to turn my channel into an advice channel. I will still be doing random rants, of course, because, that's just who I am. But I'm willing to give advice if you want it. The option is always there. So I'm going to give you the email address right now. I'll also put it in the description below. It's going to be BLJ77, BLJ7511@gmail.com. Again, that's B as in Bravo, L as in Lima, J as in Jack, 7511@gmail.com. And it could be general problems, or if you suffer from, an illness like I do, PTSD. I'm always here to talk. And if you don't want me to, put it on live, I'll message you privately. Just, specify like, hey, I really don't want this on air. Can you kind of just give me some advice? And I'll do that. So you have the option to remain anonymous. You also have the option for me not to, put it on my channel. But, I want to be there for people. And, my advice is going to be genuine. And if I honestly don't have experience in that category, I'll reach out to some people that I know that do. And, I can connect you. I want to help people. I want to, especially because I'm dealing with PTSD myself. Sometimes, I know this may sound weird, but sometimes a stranger is the best person to talk to when it comes to that, because they're not involved in your family. They're not involved in your friends. And let me make this very clear. It will be confidential if requested. So, that's one part for the advice. I've tossed some, a couple ideas out there. I'm going to start working for Scentsy as soon as I can get the money for the startup. And so I will also be advertising Scentsy products. But yeah, a lot of good things are coming your way. I'm going to try to start doing interviews. And that's also what I wanted to mention. And this is entirely up to you, if you would like to come on the show with me and do, have a conversation and, get advice that way, you are more than welcome to. All you have to do is email me. Let me know what times are good for you, and we'll go from there. So that will be starting probably within the next couple of weeks. I want to make sure my computer's completely up and running, all my programs are installed, and, I'm ready to rock. So that's kind of where I'm going with that. So you have time. Think about it. If you're going through something really tragic in your life, or you have you have depression, and you need someone to talk to, I'll always be here. And like I said, you're more than welcome to come on the show. Always remember that I do not edit for the most part, unless it's something that was, something that you really, really did not want to have aired. But I'm going to ask you all now to police